Vera, I was wondering if you could give us just a little bit of a bullet point rundown of this new feature that we're offering that allows publishers to limit the number of devices that digital subscribers can log in with. Why is this important?
Oh, it's very important because we want to protect the publisher's content at all costs. Basically, that's your bread and butter. Your blood, sweat, and tears are put into it. You don't want to give it away. And in this day and age, especially using like the Netflix model, there was a problem with people sharing their username and passwords. And Netflix finally decided to put a cap on it so they can have up to 8 users to be able to view their content. Anything outside of that somebody would have to be booted off or log off. We want to do the same thing. We want to limit the amount of devices and eyes on your content. By doing that, 3 devices or however many your threshold is can be logged in to view your content. But if another device outside of that threshold tries to log in, they'll get a pop-up saying, hey, you need to exit out of one of your devices to view this page. So that keeps everybody honest, like Terry said. And people that don't have a subscription will be prompted to subscribe because they like the content. And that overall, that's what we want. We want the publishers to be able to make money on their products.
And once this is implemented, they will get in touch with ops, and you can get this set up with whatever limits that they want to put in. And then the way it gets managed, at least at this point, is if a user has reached a device limit, they just will probably get in touch with their publisher, and then the publisher will get in touch with us, and then we can sort through what's causing that device limit and make any adjustments as needed. But this seems to be a very important feature to offer because, as you said, with Netflix and other streaming sites, people are starting to get used to the fact that you pay for one tier and it gives you one stream. You pay for another tier and then maybe you can have 3 streams at a time. So they're used to the fact of a device limitation. So I think if we use that as an analogy, what you have here with Netflix is really important to help people understand how this works and why it's important. So thank you for that.
I think also it shows that the publishers recognize you have more than one person in your household. And even if you are, say, a single person in your household, they're not so, hard and cold and cruel to limit you to a single device. They understand, okay, maybe your mom the next town over also wants to read content and you can share your login with her. It benefits advertisers as well. Yeah. Okay, so you're giving your advertisers more exposure by allowing, say 3 logins as opposed to 1. There was one other thing that I wanted. We had a question from a publisher who has, I guess, maybe their library has, the town library has a subscription to the paper. And so they had a limit of 5 device logins, which means, every family now has the option to have 5 people logged in at a time, or they can share with 5 different people. But it also allows the library to have a cap so that, you only have if everybody in the library wanted to, read the paper at the library, you could have 30 devices on there at one time and you're not making any money. So, it's important to decide the number of devices and take those things into account.
Well, and the other thing about why you want people to shy away from sharing accounts is because on the demographic and the analytics side, if everything gets aggregated in one shared account, you're not actually getting all the useful information about the people who are actually interacting through that account if it's more than one person.
Very, very good point. I think between 3 and 5 is usually the typical number that publishers choose, 3 being the more common. It's generous. That's generous enough.
Today in News Tech, the podcast covering innovation in digital journalism. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe on YouTube or any of your favorite podcast apps. We'll see you tomorrow.
At our hometown, we help newspapers build WordPress websites, design native apps, and develop digital subscription models. If you are interested in a free prototype of your publication on WordPress, go to ourhometown.com and click the Contact Us button.